11129 South Central Avenue in Los Angeles. If you would like to donate or volunteer, please call 310-981-6377 or email them at feedingourfriends05@gmail.com. feedingourfriends05@gmail.com. It's the 15th anniversary of Feeding Our Friends on the Outside, Sunday, November 10th from noon until 11129 South Central Avenue in Los Angeles. For more information, call 310-981-6377, 310-981-6377. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
I'm going to do another video on trauma bonding, and this is meant to be more of a clarifier video on trauma bonding. Let's take this on. So since I eat, breathe, live, and sleep this, the more I do this, the more precise I keep trying to get on the language, because I really do believe that the precision helps people who are struggling with trauma bonding with narcissistic relationships, right? And this matters so much when it comes to trauma bonding, which is already a term where there's a lot, just like narcissism, where there's a lot of unsureness and we're not clear on it. Now, in general, when we think about trauma bonding, we think about it loosely as the alternation between good and bad that happens in a relationship that creates it. That you hold out for the good day, you ruminate or selectively recall the one decent hour from vacation. You wonder why they all couldn't be that way. But I think that that does not actually get it fully right, because I know many of you feel very trauma bonded in at least one relationship. However, you also acknowledge that, yeah, Dr. Ramani, this does not alternate between good and bad. It sort of kind of either vacillates between abusive and kind of normal, and good isn't even part of the equation. So think about it. In a trauma-bonded relationship, you may have, for example, a normal conversation with a narcissistic person about what you did that day, or you might eat dinner together peacefully, or you might attend your child's sports game without much consternation or arguing, or you might have a normal meeting at work, or you might drop off something at your parents' home and nobody gets into an argument. I don't know that we'd quite call this good. It's just sort of, it's not bad. It's just sort of normal, right? However, Then, later that day, after your child's sports game, they may rage at you in the car, or after that work meeting, you might get that toxic passive-aggressive email that night saying that you were missing details in your report that were not meeting and that you were told some other stuff that didn't make sense right before you were going to go to bed. Or your parent calls you and says that you are ungrateful for not taking them to the doctor. Now, we've gone away from the normalish. Now we're in the more of the abusive space. So in these cases, you've alternated but what's sort of a normal relationship and sort of bad and abusive behavior. Okay, and I think we can call that bad. But it's not between good and bad. You aren't going back and forth between ecstasy or a fabulous trip or anything like that. The good for many trauma bonded people is the normal. This confuses people.
Man, Dr. Ramani is always cooking. And I think she framed it up really nicely with regards to trauma bonds. Now, of course, whenever we use a Dr. Ramani clip, because her channel is dedicated to dismantling, deciphering, and demystifying narcissism, she's going to mention narcissism. But for the purposes of this show, I'm going to have to clarify, not everyone is a narcissist. Not everyone is in a relationship with a narcissist. Not everyone suffers from NPD, which is narcissistic personality disorder. On the other hand, everybody you meet, myself included, we all have some narcissistic tendencies. So I wanted to make that clarification. Tonight's topic is an interesting topic, and it comes from one of our male listeners. Wonderful brother, calls in all the time, has a lot of insightful comments and quotes, and very loquacious and charismatic. I just love the way he puts his thoughts together and articulates them. His name is Ronan. He's out of Indianapolis, Naptown. Stand up. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. But he said something the other day, and I asked him to expound upon it. And, we kind of built something around it. Losing as a love language. And I had to ruminate on this for a moment. And when I get to ruminating, things start to change. So, I believe, because no one is perfect, and everything starts in our early childhood, we are conditioned to lose in relationships. Number one, we have been taught that someone is supposed to come into our life and make it all better. Someone is supposed to come into our life and supplement what's missing. And I have been yelling at the top of my lungs for over 20 years now, basically saying we've got relationships inverted. No, everything we've ever needed is found within. And relationships themselves are a type of spiritual university of you, where the biofeedback, the reflections you get from your partner, the triggers, the traumas, the misunderstandings, the miscommunication, the fears, all of this biofeedback is for you to look into yourself and go on this kind of journey to discover, how did the me come to be, right? And if you found that you were raised in a toxic environment, if you found that your primary caregiver, i.e. your mother or your father or your grandparent or whoever took care of you, if you found that there were lapses in your nurturing, lapses in your provision, whether it be emotional, psychological, physical, if you found that there was abuse, if you found that you were a child performer, performing for the affections of your primary caregiver, right? You could have this, space within yourself. And typically, as we grow up, we go out into adult relationships and we are seeking and longing to fill that space. And I believe that that is a loser love language. Tonight's topic, losing as a love language. See, relationships are designed to heal you. You understand? They're not designed to conceal you. But if you never recognize that you're wearing a mask, you're in the relationship concealed. The real you has been obfuscated, pushed aside, right? Hidden, not only from your partner, but from yourself. I've got questions. Because of your unaddressed childhood trauma, do you believe that only a loser would settle for you? Ugh, gosh. Just let that marinate. Let me say it again. Because of your unaddressed, unhealed childhood trauma, do you believe that only a loser would settle for you? I worded it that way on purpose. My goodness. Is being consciously self-unaware, listen, it's worded a certain way, is being consciously self-unaware of the actions of a relationship loser? Faking that you're self-unaware. You know there are things you must work on. You know where you came from. You refuse to dig it up. Is being consciously self-unaware the actions of a relationship loser? Yes, losing is a love language. Expecting somebody to save you from what's missing in you is the act of a relationship loser. Concerning intimate relationships, in what ways are female losers different from male losers? Ladies? Huh? Do you know how you sabotage yourself? Do you know how you set yourself up to be hurt? Men, same thing. Goes both ways. I know you guys don't want to hear it this way, but I'm going to do it anyway. True or false? Losers keep ex-partners on the back burner and are prone to contacting them anytime something goes wrong in their current relationship. That's a relationship loser love language. 1-800-920-1580. What are the telltale signs that you are dating a female relationship loser? One who speaks the loser's love language fluently. 1-800-920-1580. What are the telltale signs that you are dating a male relationship loser? One who uses the loser's love language in relationship. 1-800-920-1580. What does it mean to have or use or employ a loser's love language? What is that language? How is it spoken? Have you ever heard it? Was it whispered in your ear? I want to know. In what ways might the loser's love language manifest as a self-fulfilling prophecy in relationships, echoing Einstein's concept of insanity, where individuals cyclically repeat dysfunctional behaviors expecting a different emotional outcome? How do figures like Krishnamurti or Rumi view the traps of self-perception, and how might they propose breaking this cycle of self-sabotage? Considering Pema Chodron's teachings on embracing suffering as a path to freedom, could a victimhood mindset paradoxically serve as a form of comfort, insulating individuals from growth and change? How might this contradict or confirm David R. Hawking's views on the levels of consciousness? And does this attachment to victimhood serve an unconscious need for familiarity over transformation? This is deep. 1-800-920-1580. This is a non-judgmental space. I want you to get in here because many of us have been conditioned to use the loser's love language. Negative self-talk. Hoping somebody is going to make you comfort. Hoping somebody will hold space for your dysfunction. Hoping somebody will butler your wounds until you feel like confronting them. This is the loser's love language. Is the repetition of self-defeating relationship patterns an indication of unresolved trauma bonds as described by Patrick Carnes? To what extent does the persistence of this insanity in relational behavior imply an unconscious attachment to trauma itself, to the psychic wound itself? Don't make the wound home. 1-800-920-1580. What insights might Amit Goswami, that's theoretical physicist, one of my favorites, or Eric Fromm offer on the need to break free from these recursive cycles? How might David Deidda's perspective on masculine and feminine dynamics challenge or reinforce the loser's love language mentally, particularly in cases where individuals feel stuck in archetypal roles? Does this cycle of insanity prevent them from authentically embodying those gendered or their gendered essence? And how might this impact their overall relational satisfaction? Could Einstein's principle of insanity apply not only to repeated actions, but to recurrent thought processes? Wow. I really want y'all to understand this, man. Most of us have been conditioned to use a loser's love language. When I come forward, I'm going right to the phone lines because I want to know if you're the loser you keep attracting.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. Are you an entrepreneur looking to take your business to new heights? KBLA Talk 1580 is your partner in success. Every day, we celebrate and elevate Black-owned businesses across our community. Our KBLA SMB Marketplace currently features The Cookie Dip, Badass Bakes, Hair Concoction, Higher Education Accreditation Consulting, LACC Radiology Technology Department, and Malik Books. Your business deserves to be heard. Let KBLA Talk 1580 amplify your voice and connect you with our powerful community of listeners. Email smb@kbla1580.com today. That's smb@kbla1580.com. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. Around here, we don't believe in victimhood. We believe in raising our voices, amplifying Black voices in the climate conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious farm-fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. With more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties. Classic, cage-free, and organic. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Get our best trained, best educated, best equipped, best prepared troops refuse to fight. Matter of fact, it's safe to say that they would rather switch than fight.
This is going to be a really tough one to hear. But if you trust me, by the end of this talk, you're going to develop some important insights that are going to help you break a habit that you have likely been engaging in without realizing it, or realizing it but without really knowing what to do about it. Are you ready for it? If you struggle with anxiety, then chances are you also struggle with being fairly controlling. And the reason for this is that we often think that the way to manage our anxiety is to be controlling.
Wait, pause. So, I got to clarify. Okay. Losing is failure. But failure is up-leveling. So I don't want you to feel bad about losing. See, this is where losing gets bad. When you don't learn from the failures, when you know what you got to fix about you, and you consciously stay there. Go ahead, let her finish.
We often think that the way to manage our anxiety is to be controlling things outside of us as much as possible. That includes people outside of us and our environment outside of us. Because we believe that the antidote to anxiety, which is this sense of being out of control, we think that the antidote to that is to be in more control. Now, this might blow your mind for just a second here, but control in and of itself is just a big fat illusion. So relying on full control in order to feel good, to feel more calm and comfortable and confident is a never-ending losing battle because full control is never possible. And as soon as we get one sense of control in one area, that didn't manage the anxiety, because that's not actually how we deal with anxiety. It's not how we properly treat anxiety, is to get more control. And so we get control in one area, and then something else will pop up that will be triggering anxiety, and we'll think that we need to get control in that area, or with that person, with that circumstance, or with that friend, or that partner, or that boss, or that parent. That we just keep, it's like a game of whack-a-mole where we get one down and then something else pops up. And so we keep trying to control things, environment, people, ourselves in order to get some sense of relief, but it never actually comes because it's not possible to ever have full control, and that's actually not the antidote to anxiety.
Do you see? Control is part of the loser language. When you don't see a time in your life where you can't have it. See, if control is born out of anxiety and fear, right? And I can't control the anxiety, so it's a coping mechanism, right? Coping mechanisms are okay in the short term. They cannot be how you deal in life moving forward. They're supposed to be psychosomatic training wheels. At some point, you got to take them off. The loser's love language refers to patterns of relational dynamics that, while dysfunctional, become a familiar template for intimacy for individuals shaped by formative experiences with inadequate or flawed models of love. From a psychological perspective, these dynamics, often rooted in early attachment wounds and insecurities, which distort perceptions of affection and commitment in adulthood. Many people adopt this mindset in childhood, making them adult children if they don't heal it by the time their adult relationships reveal it. 1-800-920-1580. I know it's tough. Oh my God. Many people adopt this mindset in childhood, learning to equate love with self-sacrifice, constant validation seeking, or tolerating mistreatment. The resulting intimate loser's psychology influences how individuals approach relationships, often trapping them in cycles of dissatisfaction and a relationship impoverishment. I know. It's tough. Listen, let me just shout the callers out. We got Miami, Florida. We got South Central Los Angeles. And we got Indianapolis, Indiana in the house. When I come forward, we're going to talk about the loser's love language. Are you fluent? Do you speak it? Is it your coping mechanism? When we come forward, we're going to find out.
In order to fight the powers that be, fight the power. 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 Fight the power.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know from BIN News. Our election coverage continues. Kamala Harris is conceding the presidential race to Donald Trump. Speaking from her alma mater, HBCU Howard University, Harris says she called President-elect Trump earlier today to congratulate him, and she is looking for a peaceful transfer of power. NBC News is projecting Tammy Baldwin as the winner of the Senate race in Wisconsin. Republicans have already taken control of the Senate from Democrats starting in 2025. Donald Trump's pending legal cases will most likely evaporate soon. NBC News is reporting the Department of Justice is moving to wind down Trump's criminal cases before he takes office. The move would fall in line with a long-standing policy that a sitting president cannot be prosecuted. Trump is also set to be sentenced this month in his New York State hush money case, and his election interference case in Georgia is still moving through the courts. And the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree is being cut down tomorrow with the tree lighting ceremony set in New York City for December 4th. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
September 15th to 21st is Asthma Peak Week with the highest concentration of asthma flare-ups and hospitalizations. To become a more active participant in your care, visit luma-edu.com. This message is brought to you by Amgen and AstraZeneca.
Feeding Our Friends on the Outside will be hosting its 15th annual Feeding the Homeless event in Greater Los Angeles on Sunday, November 10th from noon until at 11129 South Central Avenue in Los Angeles. If you would like to donate or volunteer, please call 310-981-6377 or email them at feedingourfriends05@gmail.com. feedingourfriends05@gmail.com. It's the 15th anniversary of Feeding Our Friends on the Outside, Sunday, November 10th from noon until 11129 South Central Avenue in Los Angeles. For more information, call 310-981-6377. 310-981-6377. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
In California, the use of man-made stone is causing workers to get silicosis. Silicosis is a fatal disease caused by breathing in silica dust from cutting, polishing, or grinding man-made stone. To prevent silicosis, employers must provide their workers proper equipment, including water systems and NIOSH-approved respirators. Stop dusty and deadly practices. Learn more at worksafewithsilica.org. This is a message from Cal OSHA.
To the 100 million people who owe the IRS money, this message is for you. We've helped tens of thousands of people close the door on their tax debt. So if you feel like you're stuck in a hole with IRS tax debt, then this is the easiest way to get a resolution quickly. To qualify for a no-pay or low-pay resolution, just call 687-246-9655 to get free from the IRS once and for all.
To keep your bank accounts, income, and assets secure, tax closure is your same-day cure.
After you use Bounce Dryer sheets and realize how fresh, soft, less wrinkled, and less staticky your laundry can be, you'll put a sheet on your every time. Like those socks that smell like they've been through a marathon. Put a sheet on or that blanket that's got wrinkles on its wrinkles. Put a sheet on maybe even your chatty coworker who keeps distracting you. Okay, Bounce Dryer sheets can't do it all. But for fresher, softer, better laundry, put a sheet on it with Bounce.
Fam, some of y'all need to hear this. If you owe the IRS $8,000 or more, if you haven't filed your taxes, or if you are going through an audit and you're fighting the IRS, you need someone on your side, an ally. Allies Tax Relief has a large team of professionals that negotiates with the IRS on behalf of taxpayers just like you. Allies Tax Relief will protect your wages from being garnished, your bank account from being levied, and your assets from being seized by the IRS. Allies Tax Relief has fought for thousands of Americans in your situation. There's no reason to be embarrassed. Don't let fear stop you from calling and resolving your issue. Call 800-854-2815 today for a free consultation. Allies teams of tax attorneys, CPAs, and enrolled agents have negotiated millions in IRS tax debt, and they're ready to fight for you. Call today for the freedom you've been waiting for. Call 800-854-2815 or visit alliestaxrelief.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. The Live Your Life organization mentors young women, helping them break negative mindsets and see beyond their surroundings. Through career exposure and hands-on training, they're encouraged to think big, stay focused, and make positive choices. Founded by Nikisha Mama Boo Smith, who transformed her life to become a community leader. Live Your Life is changing lives, but they need your help. They're raising funds to keep their new building open and expand their programs. Your donations will support food, clothes, hygiene products, and holiday giveaways. Visit liveyourlife32.com. That's LIVEYOLIFE32.com to help today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Straight out of Compton is a crazy brother named Ice Cube. From the stupid dope gang with an attitude. When I'm caught off, I got a sword off. Kick knowledge and bodies all hauled off. You too, boy, if you get with me. The police are gonna have to come and get me off your back. That's how I'm going out. For the sucker duck brothers that's showing out. Some start to mumble, they wanna rumble. Mix 'em and cook 'em in a pot like gumbo. Going off on everybody like that. With bass, that's dropping in your face. So give it up smooth. Ain't no telling when I'm down for a jack move. Here's a murder act to keep you dancing. With a crime record like Charles Manson. Yo, Trey, what's the sound of my tool? Now you know that I'm about to act a fool. Me and you can go toe to toe, no mate. I'm knocking suckers out the box daily. Yo, weekly, monthly, and yearly.
Do you know why a narcissist hates loneliness so much? Like why they can't be on their own? Well, if they were to be left on their own, the darkness they suppress deep within will consume them. Like they will become aware of it all of a sudden. What darkness am I talking about? I'm talking about years of suppressed shame and insecurities. For these reasons, I say, a narcissist depends on you more than how much you depend on them. They need you more. They may make it seem like, oh, they need nobody. They are omnipotent. Life cannot impact them. They're just above all of that, but that's untrue. That's their false self speaking. That's their grandiosity. The truth is they need distractions all the time, which is why they talk to so many people. They indulge themselves in so many things. They have addictions and God knows what.
My goodness. We're all taught to speak some type of loser language for love, for relationships. If you don't go inside and deconstruct it, unpack it, man, well, I don't know what to look for. Okay, go to therapy. Find a great therapist, right? And have them walk you through the process of you. Unpack it. And then embrace it with love. Don't judge it. Don't condemn it. You have to teach yourself another language. The language you're using right now. Because everybody, oh, the 5 love languages. Yes, listen. Jashana Johnson, I'll never forget that moment. It was one of the most powerful moments in the history of the Voice of Reason. Most of them love languages come out of what you didn't get. Manifesting from an attachment wound. We got callers on the line. Let's get them in here. Who's been on the longest? Hustle, Miami, Florida. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic, my friend?
So, brother, how you feeling?
Man, I'm good, brother. How you, man?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I actually have some things to express on this call real quick.
Please, brother. You have the floor.
Thank you. So, I used to chase losses as an escape strategy. But now I chase losses as a lesson. You know, I kind of told you about that, putting myself in the game. Because you learn a lot through losses. Mm-hmm. So instead of running from them, I face them just to kind of gain the lesson from that. But I don't know if you noticed over the last couple of weeks, I've been taking the devil's advocate role.
Of course. Of course. Come on.
Yeah, as an observer, as somebody, you know what I mean, as an adversary of sorts, but it's also taking up the loser role to see that perspective and gain from it. And I did want to share with you that over those experiments, I've noticed, one, how quickly people return, but also people who are truly solid. You know, you see both sides. And through that, I've noticed that you show vulnerability, patience, encouragement. And, I mean, we even laugh through it.
Yeah.
And I think those are signs of good relationship.
Yeah.
When adversity shows up, how do each person responds? You understand? And, you know, I've been watching you a long time, man, and, you know, and I just wanted to say I'm proud of you, brother. I've seen a lot. From Black Man, what was it, Black Man Speaks to RMC to the, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, you know, I've been here the whole time, so
Man.
yeah, I just wanted to share that with you, man.
Man, hustle, man. Dang it. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. It's been a long journey, and I'm still trying to get better. I'm still trying to learn. Listen, I've mastered the loser's love language. I speak it fluently, so I'm not going to sit here and try to present as if, you know, I wasn't taught that language and I didn't use that language. And I appreciate you acknowledging the incremental growth that I may have exhibited over the years, man, and I appreciate it, and that's the whole purpose of the show. If we can get better, just incrementally, you know, day by day, you know, year by year, then, you know, that's cool. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Guess what you just did, man? Come on.
we here.
Dade County, you know what it is. Miami, Florida in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. We got callers on the line. Let's get them in here. JW, South Central Los Angeles. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Hey, how you doing, my brother?
I'm good, man. You?
I had to swallow. I'm drinking some soda pop to clear my throat. I'm doing fairly well, man. I was in the election, but it's not an issue, so I want to elaborate on that. But going back to the losers, love language.
Yes.
It made me think about, what's his name, Brian McKnight, and other love songs. You know, rock with me for old times' sake, or have you ever crossed my mind? And I believe some people can be influenced by that as well, but then, like you said, it initially starts with something that occurred when you were a child, or, you know, when you're younger, and you carry that into your adult age and aspect of your life when you're going through different phases, and you may not be aware of it, or recognize it, or all the above. And I thought about myself. I said, okay, well, yeah. He said all of us have some narcissistic traits. And I had to examine myself and realize that, yeah, that includes me too. Because I see some of those traits in me too, but I'm not considered a bona fide or certified or 100% narcissist, but I'm a human being and have flaws.
Right.
But anyway, here's another point I wanted to bring up as well. When people go through, I guess I would call it controlling as well, when you try to make it right or be comfortable because you want the pain to not exist, so therefore you got to perform or whatever because there's lack of recognition. And that's insecure mentality or mindset. And the bottom line is you have to go to a clinician, if I'm pronouncing the word correctly, to get those tools and utilize them and apply them in your life in every situation you go through. And the insight is so informative, bro. And I know I'm starting to ramble, but you got the very bottom line point that I wanted to make, so I'm laying with that because I see us as all flawed individuals and human beings, and some people are worse than others, and some people are like Donald Trump or whoever the person may be, because I mentioned my cousin once before, and she's like, whoa, my God. I see the same difference between her and him. She's like the female version, but I see it in myself as well and other people.
Man, let me just say this, brother. You don't understand. Number one, you are safe to call in and share your flaws. You're not going to be judged here. But do you know how powerful of a testimony you just had? People think, there are some people out there who think black men are the most toxic men on planet Earth. Well, JW isn't. JW is an example of many good brothers out there who don't mind bearing their souls and being honest and transparent about who they are, man. So I just want to thank you for that, brother. I want to thank you.
And I want to thank you for being yourself as well, because like the brother ahead of me called and gave you your roses and gave you your props and recognized you. You lead by example, bro.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Guess what you just did, man?
Brought South Central in house.
Come on, South Central in the building. Listen, you know what it is. Call in. Share your loser's love language with me. I know you know how to speak it. I know you're fluent in it. Call me right now, 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we going to Indianapolis. You already know what it is. Ronan, the author of tonight's topic. Let's get it.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Whether you're going over the river and through the woods in the capable Silverado 1500, getting the choir to church on time in the 3-row Traverse.
Thank you.
Or driving cross town to deliver your famous Cajun-spiced holiday turkey in the Equinox EV, America's most affordable EV with a 315-plus mile range. Add confidence to every holiday adventure and get it done with a rugged and capable Chevy truck or SUV. Find your red tag. Get 0% APR financing for 36 months on select popular Chevy models when you finance with GM Financial. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Offer available on all 2025 Equinox and 2024 Silverado, Equinox EV, Blazer EV, and Silverado EV models. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 22.2%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Technically retail delivery by 12/2/24.
Thank you.
Helping to broaden your political and moral imagination with our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
Broken glass everywhere. People pissing on the stage, you know they just don't care. I can't take the smell, can't take the noise. Got no money to move out, I guess I got no choice. Rats in the front room, roaches in the back, junkies in the alley with the baseball bat. I tried to get away, but I couldn't get far, cause a man with the touch of repossessed my car.
I want her, I miss her. Okay, so what? But it'll hurt to not have her. Okay, so it'll hurt. Accept it, right? When we chase after those things and we'll do whatever it takes to get other people to like us, that is the degradation of self-respect. And so why is it hard to get self-respect? Because you have to pay the price of other people not liking you.
Woo. Sometimes respecting yourself is disengaging from others who don't respect you. If you get entangled with someone who doesn't respect you, you are also participating in self-disrespect. I know you don't want to hear it put that way. That's a loser's love language. Insecure attachment styles further complicate these dynamics. Pema Chodron discusses the tendency to cling to pain as a familiar sensation, which can happen when attachment wounds remain unhealed. Individuals with anxious or avoidant attachment styles might find themselves oscillating between seeking closeness and pushing partners away, often misinterpreting intensity and conflict as signs of passion rather than dysfunction. These attachment wounds become a part of the relationship resources that individuals unknowingly carry into adulthood, where they unconsciously repeat learned behaviors, often with detrimental consequences for both partners. From a metaphysical perspective, theorists like Dr. David R. Hawkins argue that our vibrational state attracts similar energies, meaning that unresolved pain and insecurities often magnetize similar dynamics in patterns. In relationships, this creates a loser's love language, where people become accustomed to giving without receiving, accepting disrespect, and or sacrificing personal well-being to quote-unquote prove their worthiness. This is the loser's love language. This dynamic often feels safe due to its familiarity, though it perpetuates self-devaluation. Listen to it. Self-devaluation is a loser's love language. You devalue yourself by accepting less than infinite value for you. Listen, less than infinite value for you. But you can't see yourself as infinitely valuable until you recognize what you are. You are not your early childhood and what happened. You're not that, right? What happened to you is part of the curriculum that is encoded within you. And you live through life uncovering pieces of what was encoded, what was conditioned, what was modeled, so you can ultimately experience the true you, which is the freest version of you. You're in prison until you heal. Listen, they say the Hebrew word abracadabra, right? We've been saying it for years. They say the Hebrew word abracadabra means it exists. It is manifested. Now, negative self-talk is casting spells, which is self-sabotage, which is self-devaluation, which is self-disrespect. And these words are magnetized by your emotional state. And thus, you become a magnet for the loser because you're speaking the loser's love language energetically. 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. I want to talk to you. In the Buddhist and Taoist teachings, the importance of self-awareness and non-attachment resonates with breaking these cycles, right? It emphasizes mindful reflection as a means to recognize patterns that stem from pain rather than love, allowing one to identify when a relationship feels more rooted in a need to heal unresolved issues than in mutual support and respect. Similarly, Hindu and Jain beliefs highlight the necessity of karmic resolution and personal growth. According to these philosophies, unexamined relational habits can carry forward across lifetimes, urging individuals to resolve them by cultivating mindfulness and self-compassion. Mindfulness just means my mind is empty. I know in English it feels different, right? To be mindful is to have a decluttered mind. Anxiety is a cluttered mind because it is focused on what could happen, what shouldn't happen again, what I would wish to happen, what needs to happen, when is it gonna happen, is it gonna happen, well, they said they would, well, will they? That's anxiety. Anxiety is perceived fear. It is a projection into the future. Mindfulness is to be in the now, and the now is supposed to be decluttered so you can take in the beauty of everything that's happening. Not, oh my God, I wish my girl was here to see this with me. You know what? I'm going to bring her back to this place with the hopes of us having the same kind of feeling I have right now. No, don't destroy the moment you're in right. You take in the moment right now and enjoy it without judgment, without trying to control it, without trying to reproduce it, without trying to have it again. Do you see? Yeah, I'm going to bring my girl back. I'm not saying you can't bring your girl back. What I'm saying is oftentimes we are so busy traveling past the present, either to the past or to the future, that we forget the most powerful aspect of time is now. Loser language. I bet you'll love this. I bet you I'll get some approval and some validation out of this. I bet this will bring her closer to me. I bet you this will bond her to me more. Oh, Lord, when we come forward, are you speaking the loser's love language? We got more to talk about, trust me.
As the breezes blow, a crazy lady living in a bag, eating out of garbage pails, used to be a fag hag, such a dance to tango, skip the life and dango, a zircon princess seemed to lost her senses, down at the peep show, watching all the creeps, so she could tell her stories to the girls back home. She went to the city and got so did it, she had to get a pimp, she couldn't make it on her own. Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge, I'm trying.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know from BIN News. Our election coverage continues. Kamala Harris is